It's time for our daily dose of Cope, and we have Chi-Chi Kachiyama back at the correspondence desk for the Leopards News Network. There are definitely lots of stories to get to, so go ahead and take it away, Chi-Chi. So this post from the Leopards Ate My Face subreddit said, voted to gut federal funding, shocked when federal funding gets gutted. So this person posted on Facebook, it looks like, federal funding was pulled from the state I work in, so 20 of us were just let go as of today. F my life. So if anyone needs smart sheet help and building technical solutions, please reach out. And he voted for this. You can see it right here. It says Trump 2024. So this is what he voted for. This is what he gets. ACL says people really don't understand just how much federal funding is doing until they find out. And then Perilous Time says, wait till we all find out the downstream impacts. These are the primary impacts. Secondary impacts haven't really happened yet. So think about all of the places that people like this frequent, all the places where they buy food, how they're going to have to cut back, how they're going to have to cut back in everything, how all of the businesses that service these particular businesses are going to feel the impacts. This is going to have not even ripple effects. This is going to have like Hawaiian wave impacts, like tsunami impacts on our government, not on our government, on our economy. This sucks. 42 Electric Sunday says every state is going to have massive cuts across the board. This will hit everyone everywhere in 6 to 12 months. And we're going to see the impact. They're not going to be able to hide these numbers. Everything is about to contract, especially with firings at the same time as tariffs, because tariffs are going to raise the prices and so many people are going to be without jobs. ClickRack says, dog help us the moment states get hit with hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and fires. Oh my God, because yes, we are going into that season of turbulence. No state has the resources to deal with this, especially when there are multiple events in a short space of time. We are literally about to be screwed, and we have people at the helm that should not be running a turnkey lemonade stand. Trump has been talking about tariffs since the campaign trail, and people still voted for him knowing that he was talking about tariffs. All right, so supposedly next week we got these 25% tariffs across the board. Yay. So everything's about to go up. Double yay, especially with all of these firings. Oh my gosh, it's just going to be so amazing. All right, so this article from CNN, Trump's tariff threats are hurting your job prospects. So we got all these firings. Thousands of people are being laid off. Where are they going to go in the private sector? Who knows? Because some of these companies are going to be reluctant to hire people because of all these tariffs. Yay. All right, so it says 1 in 4 U.S. businesses has scaled back their hiring plans because of the turmoil unleashed by Trump's trade war, according to a survey of chief financial officers released Wednesday. The quarterly survey conducted by Duke University and the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond and Atlanta found a significant drop in CFO economic optimism as they grapple with the fog of the trade war. Almost all of their post-election increase in optimism faded. I'm not doing this whole article, but I pulled out this part because this is a Trump supporter. All right, it says, yet the on-again, off-again nature of the trade war during Trump's second term has rattled investors, weighed on crumbling consumer confidence, and unnerved some business owners. I'm losing sleep over tariffs. A president has never made me lose sleep before, said Ryan Messenger, CEO of First Rate Blinds, a family-owned business that sells blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes. Messenger, a North Carolina father of 4 who switched from voting from President Joe Biden in 2020 to Trump in 2024, is alarmed by the roughly 20% increase in costs due to tariffs for some products his firm imports from Mexico. And the crazy thing is, he sells blinds, so he sells secondary things for housing. Now think about all of the houses that are not going to be built because of these tariffs. This is also part of the secondary ripples that are about to ripple through the economy. These people are going to be hit so many different ways. His company plans to absorb a portion of the cost of the tariffs, eating into its bottom line, and pass along the rest to consumers in the form of significantly higher prices. Some people might not buy new shades, Messenger said, of the higher prices. They might not have any money to buy any new shades. They might not have any money to buy a house. They might not have any money to pay the rent on their current apartment. Life is about to get challenging. Shades are going to be the least of their worries. Messenger said the volatile trade policy has caused problems for his business. For instance, it's not always clear what imports from Mexico are temporarily exempt from Trump's 25% tariff on Mexico because they are compliant with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, the free trade agreement Trump signed during his first term, that Trump actually negotiated during his first term. Everyone is scrambling and confused. It's so messed up, Messenger said, adding that some suppliers are increasing prices ahead of tariffs. A plunge in consumer confidence. Tariffs could cause businesses to pull back on hiring due to higher costs and uncertainty. One commercial builder in the CFO survey said tariffs are a major concern. The potential cost escalation of imported raw materials will negatively impact us. Hiring plans can also be hurt by retaliatory tariffs lobbed by foreign countries on products made in America. Those tariffs can hurt demand for U.S. goods. Yes. Messenger said he's not shocked that Trump is using tariffs, noting this was his campaign promise. So you voted against your own interests, Ryan. Tell me, how's that working out for you? Actually, you know what? You said you're losing sleep, and you deserve to lose sleep, Ryan. You deserve to lose sleep for the next 2 to 3 years. Your cortisol level needs to spike. You need to gain 3 to 5 inches on your waistline because of the decisions that you have made. You earned this. Oh, there's more. Trump said he was going to do it, but I figured there'd be more thought involved. Because of Trump? Why would you think he's thinking? And it would just be a tool to get a better deal. But he's the one who made the deal, Messenger said, referring to the USMCA. The CFO survey is just the latest example of deteriorating sentiment around the economy. A separate report released Tuesday by the Conference Board found that consumer confidence plunged in March to the lowest level since January 2021. And what was going on January 2021? We're still feeling the repercussions of COVID-19. So that's where we are with our sentiment. Now let's go over to Dearborn, Michigan, which went for Trump. A steel manufacturer, because of the tariffs, is about to start laying people off. Major U.S. steel manufacturer laying off 600 in Dearborn, citing weak auto demand. Steelmaker Cleveland-Cliffs Incorporated will idle some operations at its Dearborn plant this summer, indicating the current reality of weak automotive production in the United States as reason it will lay off about 600 employees. The company will idle the Michigan Basic Oxygen Furnace Steel Shop and the continuous casting facilities. The decreased domestic steel demand experienced in 2024 has caused Cleveland-Cliffs to accumulate excessive iron ore pellet inventory, he said, adding that the shutoffs would allow the company to rebalance working capital needs and consume the excess pellet inventory produced in 2024. Cleveland-Cliffs is the largest steel supplier in the automotive industry, Goncalves said last week, and employs 31,000 people in the United States. Dearborn Works finishing facilities will remain operational with under 550 employees, laying off hundreds of others. The company said in a statement, will allow the company to operate more efficiently and in a more cost-competitive way for the current market environment. We believe that once President Trump's policies take full effect and the automotive production is reshored, we should be able to resume steel production at Dearborn Works. So they think that things are going to come back in alignment. It's going to rebalance. Everything's going to be hunky-dory. Okay, great. So what's going to happen with these people who were relying on these checks to buy groceries, pay rent? What's going to happen to these whole communities? Because a lot of times the whole communities are structured around these jobs. So many of these places are going to continue to die off, just like the cities around these old automotive factories and all these other factories have died off once the factories closed. This person, Go West, says, good thing they'll have fallbacks like Medicaid, education programs to help them expand their knowledge, low-price medication, kickstart, and food supplemental programs. Wait, they voted to get rid of those things too. Wow, sucks to be them. And then this person says, but at least they can live on cheap eggs. Oops, never mind. Let me see. Checks notes. At least they, here we go. They owned the libs. That's all that they can say is they own the libs. Yay. This is where we are now. Y'all join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.